It has been an absolutely glorious weekend in Central Florida here on the campus of the University of Florida in Gainesville, where tonight the Gators back at home inside Jack Tech Arena, where they will host New Hampshire out of the American East Conference. 1-1 on the year, coming off a loss to Texas. Meanwhile, Florida scoring points in bunches. They are 2-0, back-to-back games over the century mark. For the first time in school history, they have started the season with triple digits on the scoreboard in each game. You are looking inside that Florida huddle featuring Igor Kulichov, who transferred in from Rice, a graduate transfer that has set this Gator Nation on fire. Kayvon Allen coming off a great season a year ago. I'm Dave Neal alongside Pat Bradley, the former Arkansas sharpshooter. And Pat, how has Florida been able to produce so much offense here early in this season?
It's all about speed right there. Kayvon Allen can do basically everything. He's got speed, he's got strength, he can get in the lane, he can finish over big guys, and has become a more consistent three-point shooter. Talking about shooters, everybody loves a shooter. And yes, Igor is about as fine as you will have. He's going to love playing with Chiozza and Allen because those guys get in the lane, draw the defense, and kick it out.
Averaging 23.5 points per game. As you might imagine, Kulichov in the starting lineup with Kayvon Allen. Chris Chiozza banged up in game one, came off the bench, but has started now back-to-back games for Florida. Hayes and Stone round out the starting five for Florida. For the Wildcats of New Hampshire, it'll be Reed, Jordan, Armstrong, Kamara, and Leisner. Leisner's a guy to keep an eye on out of Converse, Texas. He is averaging 14 points a game. He'll get the ball up around the rim a lot. He's 10 out of 12 from the free throw line through 2 games. This is a team that won 20 games back-to-back seasons, and they are on the road facing Florida for the 4th time between these two clubs. Florida actually went up to New Hampshire and played a game.
The days of Matt Bonner.
Kulichov right to the basket, won't go. First rebound goes to Eva Kamara. One thing that we saw today from New Hampshire was the fact that they're going to be very conscious of getting back 2, 3, sometimes even 4 players on the defensive end to avoid some easy transition baskets by Florida.
That was the first thing that Coach Arian said to us, and every team is going to be trying to figure out how do we get back and protect against that fast break.
Kulichov trying to work it inside, can't do it. Now he's got one-on-one. Here's Hayes. Off the backboard, good-looking shot from Hayes.
To have the ability as an offense, and Florida does a lot of things really well. We know they can penetrate, we know they can shoot, but to have the luxury to slow the game down when you have to in the half court and get it to one of their post guys in Hayes, if they can consistently go to him. Now, Dave, that's a big thing. He's got to understand that we're going to go to you early on in games to establish that.
Offensive foul. Tanner Leisner down in the paint, getting a little too physical. Well, a longtime coach of the Wildcats, Bill Herrion, he's a basketball lifer, as they say, now in his 13th year at New Hampshire, his 27th season overall. He's been an assistant coach along the way. I mean, this guy has seen,
he's a lifer, man,
about all you can see in college hoops.
It was fun sharing stories with him about really connections we both had with him through the years, and he's seen it, pretty much seen it all. And he talked about this Florida team, and maybe not as you know, this Florida team is about as fast as he's seen any team get up and down the court.
Armstrong trying to get it inside. Here's Leisner, quick catch and shoot. Boy, that is smooth.
Yeah, that's good. He inside, outside guy. Probably end up being New Hampshire's leading scorer of the school when he's done.
Averaging 18 points and 10 rebounds through 2 games is Leisner. Long rebound to Kulichov. Here's Chiozza. Chris. Little dipsy dude through the lane.
That's great body control. What's going to be something to watch for Florida, too, the amount of threes that they will shoot, and Allen will shoot, and Chiozza will shoot, but Igor's a big guard. And you just saw him there. If he attacks that offensive glass, he's going to be able to get some of those long rebounds.
Shot clock down to 5. Jordan hits Leisner. Faces up on Stone. That one is blocked by Hayes. Chiozza off and running. 1-on-3. Taken out of there by the Wildcats and Jordan.
Coach is going to be happy with that transition defense.
Got 3
from
back.
New Hampshire. Yes, exactly.
Leisner, good ball fake. We'll kick it out. This is Jordan. He buries a 3. Gulachov, bounce pass. That'll sail out of bounds and give it right back to New Hampshire. Hayes.
Leisner does a good job. He's a triple threat guy, so you got to respect everything, and it flows through him. You're going to be able to get a lot of easy shots. There, he takes care of himself. In the previous play, it was his pump fake, one dribble that set up Florida's defense trying to scramble and left open an open shooter.
Good start for Leisner. Coach Arian said, let's play the first 4 minutes. Guys are going to be excited. Let's see if we can just survive the first 4 minutes. We'll catch our breath. I don't think he anticipated being up 3 with 16:09 to go in the first half. So I think his guys came out here a little bit looser than he may have anticipated. Mike White, head coach now at Florida, who has, in his 3rd year, got this program certainly back in the right direction after what was a great run through the Elite 8. He's now 50-24 on the season.
A couple things that has helped New Hampshire early on is they've slowed down the offense. Florida hasn't been able to speed them up. They've gotten the ball where they want, and that's Leisner touching it every time and flowing through him. So at some point, Florida's pressure and speed, that tempo is going to pick up. We'll see how New Hampshire handles that.
Coach White wearing a microphone for us tonight. We'll have him wired throughout the night. Listen to some of his comments as he coaches this Gator team. Chiozza back the other way. Gulachov will cut to the basket, but Chiozza takes it, and he draws the foul, and he'll head to the free throw line.
Great job by the Cheese, surveying the floor and attacking.
Well, Florida's offense has been successful. We'll talk about how they get it done in the half court when we come back. We'll talk about the 3-gore option on the other side. Well, the Gators are averaging 112 points a game through 2 contests. They're certainly getting up and down the floor, but in the half court, my partner Pat Bradley decided to break it down for us and explain what works for them in that set.
Well, you see them come off a lot of high ball screens.
We're going to see this offensive play from Florida a lot tonight and throughout the season. I'm going to play the role of Chris Chiozza. He's always on the attack. He's going to take a high ball screen. He's going to come off tight. He can come off that pick and pop or drop. I prefer to swing it to Igor for the 3. And get back on defense, Igor. Get back.
Listen, we don't get back on defense in Church League, just for the record. That's not what we do. We admire our shot. Certainly that was a lot of fun, but Florida's offense, it isn't difficult to run,
sure,
but it's hard to defend.
There's no question, because you have guys that are under control with the ball, and they understand how to get in the creases. We saw Chiozza in that previous play. Patience, looked, surveyed the floor, and then attacked. And when you've got shooters like Igor and Kayvon Allen, then the defense has got to make a decision. Do we respect Chiozza being able to attack the basket, get fouls on our big guys, get to the free throw line, or are we going to suck into that middle and now you leave it open for the shooters? So it starts with Coach White allowing these guys to be creative on offense, but you got to have that personnel, and he understands that, and that's why he runs what he does.
Coach Arian for New Hampshire was at shoot-around today, really working with his guys on how to defend that particular play, and you kind of got to pick one thing, right?
Yeah, that's right. Pick your poison,
right,
as they say. Do you want to live with the 3? You want to live with allowing the 3? Sure, it's the lowest percentage shot, but you have what Kulichev did the other night, gone crazy. Now here's that press we talked with Coach White about this morning. I'm very excited to see how Florida plays this press.
Didn't press a whole lot the other night in a win against North Florida. They just got it off the backboard and took off. Jalen Hudson, the junior, transfer from Virginia Tech, kicks it to Allen, who can't buy the three. Gators by 1. Step back jumper from Kamara. He knocks it down. He had 12 against the Texas Longhorns. Also a double-double on that one. 17th time he's done that. There's Jack Gack getting in, the 6'11 sophomore out of Australia.
And that's the other side of it. With that speed, all of your defenders are trying to help. Kayvon Allen attacks a basket. 5 defenders are trying to help. Oh, forgot about Gack in the back. He's going to finish, clean up anything that comes off the rim.
Nice little rhyme right there.
I didn't even realize. It just popped in my head like that.
That's brilliant. Jordan clanks it off the side of the backboard. Gack the rebound, gets it off to Allen. Jalen Hudson through the lane. He is tripped up.
And with Kayvon Allen, we talked about just how athletic he is, being able to find a crease in that defense. And then all defenders are looking at the ball watching, instead of getting in. With Gack, he's so big, you got to get a body on him. You've got to do something to move him out. And he was able to clean up as much garbage as he can. And I was watching him in that play just down here. He was one of the first guys down the floor. If you can get a big man that can run, that helps your fast break to big time.
Allen, a little strong on the three-point shot. Knocked out of bounds, belonging to the Wildcats.
Hitting the weight room a little too much there, Kayvon.
Boy, all these Gators have changed their bodies since the end of last season. They are physically bigger and stronger. Gack, I didn't even recognize him here the other night when he came out. He has completely changed his body makeup. Off the front of the iron for Reed.
That's what that Florida defense is going to do to you. You start taking shots deeper and deeper and deeper.
Well, Florida having a tough time behind the arc. Kulichov misfires on that one. Gators now 0 for 4 to start this game. They were shooting this season 48% behind the arc through 2 games.
Senior Leisner giving a little lesson in post play right there.
So he's got some moves now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's got the whole toolbox, man. You know, we talked to Coach White too about this, but he doesn't mind quick threes. We saw Kayvon Allen in transition, quick three. Igor, quick three in transition. He understands he's going to get a lot of possessions with this team, so he's okay with those guys taking quick threes.
Foul on Kamara. Hey, Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on the SEC ESPN Network. Tune in for the latest SEC feature presented by Bell for the best stories from the past week across this magnificent conference. It's also streaming live on the ESPN app. Gators 3 out of 10 from the field. New Hampshire 5 out of 11. 1 point New Hampshire lead.
That's a perfect play there. That high ball screen, Chioza comes on under control and then finds his guy. The defense on their heels because they know Cheese is going to attack you.
Jalen Hudson, who sat out last year after transferring from Virginia Tech. He's a guy that can put the ball in the basket now. He had 5 20-point games at Virginia Tech, including a 32-point contest against Wake Forest in an ACC tournament a couple of years ago.
And he's another guy, too, physically. He just looks the part.
There you go.
It's right on cue. Another guy who could defensive rebound and bring the ball up and knows who to get it to. Right? That's part of what Igor is going to be able to take advantage of is the other guards around him are so good at rebounding, pushing it, and then finding them.
That was the first 3 for Florida. Okuche knocks that down. New Hampshire certainly not intimidated coming into Exact Tech Arena to face the Gators tonight.
Give him credit for finding those post guys and that inside-out three-point shot's a lot easier to make.
Hey, he's probably about a foot too far out of his range.
Yeah. give credit to the defense. They did their work before he got the ball, pushing him out of his comfort zone.
Big rebound underneath for Armstrong. Free throws coming up. Gators by 1. Timeout on the floor.
Look at this guy. I can hear the shivers of every Wednesday night church leaguer in the Atlanta area. Look at that jump. Look at the form. Oh, celebrating too, huh?
You got to get back on D.
Hey, big fella's hustling.
The 59-year-old Bill Harrigan in that New Hampshire huddle, the head coach of the Wildcats. There is not an off switch to Coach Harrigan. He is on the go, go, go. From the moment I don't even know if he goes to sleep. I was going to say from the moment he wakes up, but who knows? He keeps a Fitbit, and he doesn't stop. He has already, before the game tonight, had 20,000 steps on his Fitbit watch.
Coach, that thing is going to run out of battery. It's going to start smoking. I've never seen it. He had you run at 11.
Hey, you've got a Fitbit. What do you have on yours?
I've got 6,500 steps.
He's got 20,000 steps today.
And that was at 11. Come on now, Coach.
You do. You show him right there. He's got the Fitbit on right there.
I got it right here.
It has 6,000 steps.
I'm going to work out later on, though, after.
Yeah, right.
After
sure,
that.
so am I.
Now, how many pairs of sneakers does he go through? Right? I mean, 40,000 steps a day.
Well, he comes out. When I got to the arena an hour and 45 minutes before the game tonight, he is pacing up and down, has his notepad out in his hands, and he is just walking back and forth, up and down the court before the game.
Ooh, looking smooth with those. Is that Italian leather?
I'm going to guess that's Italian. Hey, you New Englanders better not come with something fake, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Grew up in the Boston area, did Coach Harrigan. Dad, longtime coach, brother, an assistant coach down in South Florida. Was at Georgia Tech with Brian Gregory. These guys have coached and seen a lot of basketball over the years, that family. Florida just can't seem to knock down some of these shots they have the first couple of games. If they're going to get near the century mark, they better get it going. They may even be out of that realm as we speak with 11:20 to go. Here in the opening half, Dave Neal, former Arkansas star guard, Pat Bradley. Glad you could join us on this Sunday evening.
And part of what I anticipate Florida doing is going to push up and get ball pressure on some of these passers, because up till now, these guards from New Hampshire are able to pass it where they want. They want to get to the post. There you go. And once you get to the post, these guys know how to find open shooters.
Allen doing what scorers do when shots not dropping, find a way to get to the free throw line.
How'd you like to have that talent? Again, he's another guard, big guard, physical guard that can defensive rebound, great defensive rebounder, can initiate the break, can get into the lane, find guys, finish over guys. I mean, he can rise up and dunk on you, and he can pull up for a mid-range jumper, pull up for a three. Can you tell I like this kid?
I think
Can you tell I like the
there's some aspects that he brings that you like. That's all I'm gathering.
I would, you know, if I could go into a lab and construct the game that I wish I had, that's what it would look like.
You know, we talk about shooters who can't seem to find it early on, get to the free throw line. Did you ever feel like if you got to the line, you might be able to find your stroke? Did that ever work for you?
It was a sense of calm getting to the free throw line. Although the free throw line could be a very lonely place if you're not a good free throw shooter.
Yes.
You're out there, everyone's looking at you.
Pat Bradley, my partner here tonight, he and Michael White played against each other for 4 years in the SEC when Coach White was running point guard at Ole Miss, and you were out on the wing for Arkansas. You guys had some pretty good battles, huh?
There's no playing around when Mike White was on the court, that's for sure. It was a battle. We battled for 4 years, twice a year. He's a tough player, tough coach.
Well, he really ran the show for that Ole Miss team that got to the NCAA tournament. They were ranked top 15 his junior year.
And he was as tough as nails defensively, offensively, could get your team in any kind of offense, control the tempo.
Jordan, a little too strong, tapped around, and New Hampshire will have another shot at it.
And I actually walked in on their practice yesterday late. I missed it. But who was running up and down the floor playing in a manager's basketball game?
Wasn't me.
It was Mike White taking deep threes. I was like, Coach, your game has changed since college. He's taking threes from about 5 feet behind the line. But yeah, I saw him still in great shape. He didn't play as much defense as he used to.
He played for Rob Evans. Rod Barnes were his coaches, and those guys, you didn't run their offense. They'd shoot it with 5 on the shot clock.
Yeah, that's right.
Not like this Florida team, that's for sure. Allen to the basket.
That right there, Chioza being able to push up. There's not many guys who can change the game defensively. And what I mean by that is you get a guard like Chioza and some other in the country who can defend their guy, their point guard, from baseline to baseline. Doesn't allow him to go where he wants to go. Doesn't allow him to initiate what pass he wants to, entry pass, and it changes entirely how the game is played.
Up ahead to Hayes. Boy, tremendous athletic move to catch that ball. Just couldn't convert.
You know what I love, though? The big fella running the floor. I love it. I love it. And Gak does it. Hayes does it. It helps that fast break.
Gak about to check back in for Florida, as well as Jalen Hudson. 8.5 to go first half. Nice entry pass. See if Armstrong can finish, but he's fouled. A trip underneath. And that will go against Keith Stone. Hey, Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern, right here on the SEC ESPN Network. Join us for another edition of Thinking Out Loud, presented by Regions Bank. Greg McElroy, Marcus Spears. We'll talk some football. We'll give you their perspective offensively and defensively on what's going on around the SEC and college football. Streaming live on the ESPN app. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, right here on the SEC Network.
You know, I always thought it was a pretty scary thought if we knew what those two guys were thinking.
No, I don't want to.
I mean, that's a deep, dark place. Thinking out loud.
You go there, you never come back.
You never come back. Right. Thank God they clean it up, though, for the network.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to be in their mind.
20 seconds on the shot clock. Florida, 35% from the field. New Hampshire, 31%. 2-point game. Gators just 1 out of 8 from behind the arc.
And see, now that's exactly where New Hampshire wants the ball.
Leisner a little bit short, chases it down, but can't hold on to it. Stone got popped.
Great defensive possession. Individual defensive possession.
And not a horrible scenario for New Hampshire. They got the shot clock down to 3 or 4 seconds, took some time off. Hudson. He is fouled. That's a 2. So free throws coming up when we come back. Mike White wearing a microphone. We'll listen to some of his comments as he coaches his Gators. They lead it by 2. Mike White talking to his troops. They only lead New Hampshire by 2. 7:51 to go opening half. Mike White wearing a microphone tonight. Little SEC Wired coming your way.
Spidey, call it! Call the switch! Talk! Hands off, Mike! Stance, Mike! Hey! Good, White, good. Good possession. We'll make a shot. Talk! Talk here!
You hear him say good possession despite the missed shot. We'll make some shots. They've had 16 possessions, 0 turnovers tonight, only 1 assist, but that's because they haven't made some shots, and they've been good shots tonight.
Yeah, they have. It's exactly how he wants to see it, and they'll fall, there's no question. It's about running the offense now, and he wants today to see crisp, clean offensive action. He wants to see screens set. He wants to see guys. You just saw, he was talking to Spidey, Kavarius Hayes, about communication. And that's one thing that, talking to Coach Mike White even back a couple of years ago, he has been trying to get his guys to communicate more and more verbally. Just talk it out. At their shoot-around today, we saw the drill that they do. We get in a circle, and they yell out each other's name as they pass it to them. And it's just that constant verbal communication, little things. Switch, don't switch, stay, get under the, all those types of things. You got to talk to each other.
4-point game now. 2016 Gators out in front. New Hampshire coming off a loss to Texas, 78-60. And a foul underneath. And that will go against Stone.
There's something that a guard can do to help a big man defensively, and that is ball pressure. When you know that a guard is trying to get a post pass in, you got to be up in him. You got to get your hand in his face. Anytime he exposes the ball. Right now, the post passes from a guard standpoint are just too easy.
New Hampshire caught a break on that inbounds. Went right to Oguche. They'll reset their offense. And a foul inside against Florida. That will go against Chase Johnson, who just checked into the game. One of those talented true freshmen. He's out of Ripley, West Virginia.
He's going to learn a couple things from guarding the senior Leisner.
Yes.
Learn a few tricks he can use later on.
Bounce pass inside to Leisner. Good entry feed from John Oguche.
That was just a wily veteran understand how to put a body on your hip and keep him there.
Foul on Jordan.
Does a great job. You see where he caught the ball, though? Just so close. He did all his work before he caught the basketball. So close, just had to turn and finish. But Johnson's going to understand now. You know, he got burnt once.
Right.
You're going to understand that Leisner is crafty underneath there, moving his body around. And they look for him, too.
Chiozza knocks down the free throw. He is on the year. Chiozza perfect at the free throw line. Now 6 out of 6 on the year.
And what a luxury to have your main ball handler be really good free throw shooters as well.
Never fails, does it? As soon as you bring it up.
That's it. That's it. Sorry, Cheese.
Well, New Hampshire has made just one of their last 8, and that was on their last possession.
Kayvon's length right there. There you go. That's a ball touch right there. Deflection.
Leisner. That one is going to belong to New Hampshire. Boy, Johnson chased that out. He didn't need to.
He wanted to get that break started. Of course, Florida. And there you go. This Kayvon Allen has great length, okay? He can get his hand in those passing lanes. You don't realize how long he is until you try to pass around him. And if you don't pump fake pass, he's going to get it every time.
Leisner too strong. Okaru. He is fouled on the way to the basket. Boy, Florida likes to take it on the wing and drive it right down to the SEC logo.
How impressed are you by the size of these Florida guards?
They're all, I mean, they're 6'6", 6'7", 6'5", long arms. Can jump out of the gym.
What I love is they can defensive. It's so, I'm just so impressed by guards that can rebound, defensive rebound, and push it on their own. No wasted moment.
Okaru, freshman out of Raleigh, North Carolina, a 4-star coming in. Here are some of the length that you're talking about. Chase Johnson at 6'9", Bassett at 6'9". And of course, you're still waiting on Egbunu, who is rehabbing a knee that was blown out last year in February. They expect to have him back sometime in January, perhaps.
But Dave, those are the big guys. I'm talking the guards.
Yeah.
Got the length.
You got Kolochov at 6'5". And you've got, you know, Keith Stone is kind of a stretch forward, 6'8". Hudson, 6'6". Ballard, 6'5".
And a guy like Kayvon may be listed at, what, 6'3"?
Yeah.
But his length is a lot more than a 6'3" player, an average 6'3" player.
Leisner doing what he does. That is finding a little bit of space and putting it up on the end, on the iron. And the end is exactly what he expected. He is a competitor. We watch him shoot around, and he is probably as intense as anybody I've seen in a long time in a practice setting.
This is one of those games preseason, you look at the schedule, and you cannot wait to play Florida. Can't wait to play in an arena like this.
Kulichov, he has been rather cool tonight with just 5 points, a couple of rebounds, and you can give him 7 now.
Florida does a great job as a team of when they decide, you saw right there, all 5 guys were around the perimeter. Your big guy sets a screen, the other guys out behind the 3-point line. Kulichov just had could have driven a truck right to the basket there.
Here's Leistner again, 6'7" forward. Kicks it out. Deep 3 off the iron from Jordan Reed, and Gators can't save it.
That's it, everybody's staying wide, staying spread. Great screen by Gack. And that forces that New Hampshire defense to get up on them because they know Florida doesn't take much. They just need an inch to get off that 3.
Kicks it into the corner. Hopkins can't get it to go. Hayes the rebound. Faru. Kulichov thought about it. Gives it to Hayes. And there is a block. But a foul in the process of John Oguche.
That's a great feed to Hayes. And New Hampshire just on their heels because it was a semi-fast break. And Florida does a good job of that initial attack isn't there. If that initial 3-point shot isn't there, they're gonna take their time. They're still in a fast break transition mode. They've got sets where the first fast break transition doesn't work. Well, now we know what to go to next, our secondary transition. Igor coming off a screen again. He attracts so much of the defense's attention and pulls them away from the basket. Hayes is going to be able to have a field day all night long.
New Hampshire shooting 29% from the field, but yet they trail by only 5. Leistner. Thought the little runner too strong. Leistner put it up for that. Are you ready for this? That's his 15th shot. He is 5 of 15.
Keep shooting, young fella.
Kulichov draws the foul. Been a little bit of a struggle tonight for this Florida team that came in averaging 112 points. The Gators right now in a little bit of a battle with the Wildcats, 25-20, and see if Kentucky can avoid an upset. They'll host Fort Wayne Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern on the SEC ESPN network. It's also streaming live on the ESPN app. Mike White wearing the microphone for us tonight. He knew this one might be a test for his club.
I told you it wasn't going to be easy. It's a good team. It's perfect. Good test for us. Keep doing what we're supposed to do.
How has New Hampshire stayed in this game despite shooting just 28% from the floor?
Well, you only have 2 turnovers up to this point, which means you're getting shots. I understand that both teams are shooting. Well, now New Hampshire looks like they dipped under 30%. But you're getting the shots you want, and you're going to end up making those shots. And you get the guy, Leistner, has touched the ball, I think, every offensive possession. So if he's not scoring it, okay, he is attracting attention and getting it out to guys who are getting open shots. And I think on the other side of things, Florida hadn't shot the ball well. And they will pick it up. You know, if you're Coach Harry, and what you're fearing is over the course of 40 minutes, that grind. And once Florida does throw a little pressure on, is your young backcourt going to be able to handle Florida's pressure and still get the ball to where it needs to be on the offensive end, on the half-court offensive set? And here's that press right on cue.
Allen will defend Reed. By the way, New Hampshire has put up 28 shots. Florida has gotten up 19. Usually it's the other way around.
Right, exactly.
Boy, Hayes, those long arms, creates the steal, getting down the floor. Kulichov, his tip goes down. It looked like he hung in the air forever. So Kulichov now has 8 points to lead the Gators. Leisner has 10 on 15 shots. He has the basketball now, swings it around to Jordan. Armstrong thinking about what he wants to do with it. Kicks it in the corner. Hopkins, corner three, no good. Leisner fouled on the follow. Well, you can hear that slap 45 feet away.
Good job right there. With Hayes using that length, that arms, and again, a big fella running the floor. It's dangerous for any defense to try to handle him. Kulichov, a big guard. We've seen him, I think that may be his second offensive rebound of the game. These guys know how to run, and they understand that you got a big guy ahead of the play. He's not always going to finish that. So you got to continue to run. You never know when there's going to be a loose ball. I do like Florida starting to put that pressure on now. And I can't help but to say that really, that little 2-minute spurt right there helped Florida just get that mentality, that attacking mentality back.
Let's go Gators! Let's go Gators!
Oh, that's a Dave Neal play. Igor, I thought he was going to kick it at Igor in the corner.
Batted around right to Kulichov. His jumper no good. And it'll be last touch by New Hampshire. Florida will have it. Boy, Allen with some nice, or Ballard, nice moves. Couldn't convert.
He's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, this is a guy that Mike White talked to us about today. And exciting young player. Still has some areas to grow in, but what's not to like? Ball away three. Off the hands of Hudson. No good. New Hampshire out of Durham, New Hampshire. American East Conference, where Vermont has been the dominating force in that league. Went to the NCAA tournament last year. Picked again to win the America East. New Hampshire picked fourth in that conference. Kulichov. Good defense by the Wildcats. And then a foul on Kulichov.
Igor might have been better served by taking that reverse dribble out, look for one of his trail guys, and then get back into the corner and set up for a shot. He knows he was a little out of control there. Great steal, though. Great anticipation. The other thing New Hampshire is doing well tonight is reversing the ball. And Florida typically will get up in those passing lanes to where keep the ball on one side of the floor. You may be able to get it to the right side, but we're not going to allow you to reverse it. And they've been able to do that tonight. Use the whole floor on their half-court offense.
Reed out of Lucas, Texas. Interesting story. He actually played a year of college ball at Rice before transferring to New Hampshire, but he played with Kulichov. He played with Igor at Rice. Kulichov, of course, graduated. Now a graduate transfer here to Florida after being all Conference USA.
It's amazing that the paths and how you cross paths with so many different players throughout your careers and end up on the same court tonight. Another ball reversal.
That one is knocked out of the hands of Armstrong, and it'll belong to Florida.
Excellent job by Florida. You could tell the communication there was a lot better. I didn't hear any verbal communication, but I'm sure they were. But you just saw them a lot crisper and defensively. Everybody in the right spot, rotating and help defense.
Hudson left it short. Tapped around right to Allen. Well, he's trying to find a shot. You know, he had 9 in the opener. Came back and answered with 18 in game number 2.
And he can string them together about as fast as anybody. I mean, you blink your eye, he's going to put 10 on the scoreboard.
That foul on Jacoby Armstrong. He fouled out in 16 minutes against Texas on Tuesday night. Boy, if you're Bill Herring, this couldn't have gone any better for you coming into this building. And talking to him today, he was very worried, and he had nothing but glowing things to say about how good this Florida team was.
It's amazing, Coach, when you have your team follow the game plan, that's got to be the most satisfying thing. When you draw it up and they're executing it the way that you had practiced and talked about and shoot around.
Oguche banks it in.
Some of that glass magic, too, to stay in it with Florida.
They put it there for a reason, right? Use it. And a trip on the baseline, and Hayes hits the deck, pops up in a hurry. Coming up at halftime, take a look around college basketball. Also, Mike White, fast break. Here are his thoughts and first half analysis and highlights. That's all coming up at halftime. 34 seconds to go before we get to the break. Well, the Southeastern Conference this year is going to be about as fun as we've seen in a long, long time. This is a conference that has gone out and got some not only great coaches, but now they've got some talent to match the coaching, which should make for some fireworks this year. And Kentucky, of course, with all those talented freshmen, still waiting to see when all that will kind of gel together. But Arkansas's got some great young talent. Ole Miss has gone out and got, they're the quiet team in this league that nobody's really talking about.
Nobody ever talks about Coach Kennedy, right? It's a lot. I was, of course, they got Terrence Davis, who is just off the charts good. I mean, he reminds me of like a Kayvon Allen, just can do everything from anywhere. But Coach Kennedy, I think he likes being slightly under that radar. It's okay, yeah, pick us middle of the pack. But, you know, he gets a lot of junior college guys, some transfer guys that maybe aren't familiar to mainstream people, and he does a great job of finding those guys that may be a little under-recruited and turns them into beasts.
Yeah. Conference play getting underway in late December. Leisner reverse layup goes down. Leisner now with 14.
And that's one thing Florida can do to slow down Leisner, get him in foul trouble. Just does a good job of catching. Did you see on the catch, he was already making his move. Splitting the double team, great sense of awareness and great footwork. A lot of years doing the Mikan drill.
Our officials, we go see, they're at the monitor to see if there was perhaps a flagrant. There's an elbow tossed down in the paint. Let's see here. We have a good look at Leisner.
Rip shot.
Vladimir Boyard-Tadal is our lead official today. He's over at the monitor along with Bart Lennox taking a look.
That must be so tough for big guys now because they, you know, at a young age, they're coached up to hit the other big guy, top of the key free throw line area. Now you got to be very careful.
Just a common foul will be the word from our official, and not a timeout situation.
That didn't look like it was anything out of line. You almost have to. We talked about the previous possession that Hayes had got the ball in the post about 2-3 feet further than he wanted to, and that's all leaning on him and pushing him out of the lane.
Hayes knocks home the free throw.
Nice stroke for a big fella.
Shot 67% at the line last year. It started the year 6 of 7, actually 7 of 8 now. Boy, 2 years ago, this Florida team had, a nightmare at the free throw line. And Coach White went out and got a psychologist to come in and try to work with the team mentally on getting over that hump. And it worked last year. They won some games with the free throw shot.
Did.
How about that deep three from New Hampshire? And that'll end the half as Jordan Reed buries it from the top of the key. And we are tied at 32. The 8th-ranked Gators in a battle with the Wildcats.
Not much to do with time running down on the clock. A couple feet behind the line. Nobody gets the ball. Time running out. That's how you take care of business. Clutch shot going into the half. Got a lot of momentum.
Florida shoots 27%. Our score at the break, 32 apiece. Coming up after the break, we'll join the studio with our halftime report.
Welcome into our halftime report. I'm Matt Schick along with Seth Greenberg. A lot of action on this very busy Sunday as Feast Week is underway. Happy Thanksgiving. Allow us to be the first to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
It's all d'oeuvres.
Yes.
I'm getting a little vegetables first.
Yeah, we'll call this some of the veggies here, including Virginia taking on Monmouth. It can't just be the Kyle Guy show. Someone's got to help. I think they found somebody.
I really like DeAndre Hunter. You're talking about 6'7". He can rebound the basketball. Made his first 6 shots. He gives Tony Bennett versatility. He can play any 4 positions. All the perimeters, and even play at the 4.
ESPN 100 prospect in the class of 2016 out of Philly. He gets it done, 23 points in 24 minutes. Virginia always a team in the ACC that's going to have to be reckoned with, coached by Tony Bennett, of course. Give me another team not named Duke, not named North Carolina, that might have something to say about the race.
Well, I'm talking about a team that stays old, and that's Notre Dame. Now, look, they've been to the Elite 8 2 of the last 3 years, so they're not surprising anyone. But when you think about Notre Dame, you think about Matt Farrell, you think about Bonzie Colson. Who else is going to step up? And that's T.J. Gibb. You're talking about a 6'3" guard. He's shooting over 50% from the 3, averaging 17 points a game. He can beat you off the bounce. He shoots the ball to the 3-point line, and he takes a little bit of pressure on the perimeter off of Matt Farrell. Remember, V.J. Beacham, Steve Astoria last year. Someone needs to step up. T.J. Gibb has stepped up, along with D.J. Harvey coming off the bench, giving him really good minutes, the freshman from DeMatha.
Is that Gibbs had 23 points in that win over Chicago State. Some other action again. These tournaments underway. How about 2 games between these 2 teams in the last week? It's South Carolina and Western Michigan. Frank Booker for 3.
Frank Booker, the transfer from Florida Atlantic, 5th-year guy. He gives them some scoring. They're still trying to develop an identity, South Carolina, trying to get that toughness that Frank Martin wants.
Western Michigan preseason pick to win the MAC. South Carolina wins at 79-66. Some notable tourneys, including the CBE.
CBE, you're talking about UCLA and Creighton. Creighton coming off a huge win earlier in the season against Northwestern. UCLA, new backcourt, but a good backcourt. Jalen Hands, Aaron Halliday.
That's in Kansas City. In Maui, a couple of top 15 teams, Wichita State and Notre Dame, plus Michigan, Cal, and VCU. Wichita State opening up against Cal on Monday. Morris Shamet,
Shaq Morris playing at a high level. Talked to Greg Marshall today. He is high on Shaq Morris.
Ready to go there in the American. How about the battle for Atlantis? Purdue, Arizona, Villanova.
I'll tell you, Arizona's really talented, but Purdue might be the most complete team in the country right now. That trip for the World University Games, they're a step ahead of everyone else right now.
Alonzo Trier, DeAndre Ayton there, and the PK80, the inaugural event in Portland, featuring 16 teams, including the traditional powers like Duke, Michigan State, North Carolina, UConn, and Gonzaga. Again, a celebration of Phil Knight's 80th birthday. Mr. Nike, you might as well have some good teams, and they do. The collection of teams, coaches, and players, remarkable. 23 combined national championships, and familiar faces and teams from last year's Final Four. 3 of the 4 Final Four teams from last year. Marvin Bagley, the 3rd. One of the many
Jaron Jackson, huge in that Duke game earlier.
Goodness, Shaq, against Michigan State from the ESPN 100. So let's look ahead to Portland and that action. First day, first matchups. Give me a couple you're looking forward to.
Oklahoma, Arkansas, you're talking about a high-level game and a fast-paced game. Oklahoma's averaging 108 points a game. Trae Young has absolutely been explosive as a freshman point guard. Makes the game easier for everyone. He's averaging 15 points, 11.5 assists, shooting 50% from the three-point line. But this is an Arkansas team that makes you make plays. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to attack you. They're averaging 93 points a game. So a young guard's going to have to take care of the basketball. And then I think another one that's going to be pretty interesting is this Texas team against Butler. This is a Texas team last year that had more turnovers than assists. Not good. This year right now, they're averaging only 9 turnovers a game. Matt Coleman, the freshman point guard from Oak Hill Academy, has done a nice job of taking care of the basketball. Mo Bamba obviously erases a lot of mistakes on the defensive end. It's allowing Shaka Smart to extend his defense and press a little bit more. They've still got to shoot it better from the three. And this is a Butler team, I'll tell you. Kamar Baldwin, I am really high on him. As good a perimeter defender as any player in the country. Keelan Martin's wired to score. Tyler Wideman, experienced up front. That will be a very good basketball game.
We hope we see some very good basketball games. You could say, did not see that at UConn, #1 UConn, hosting Maryland. Katie Lou Samuelson, foot injury, no problem, but they do have a nurse.
Key nurse, she's calling for a doctor for Maryland. She can make shots, and then one of our favorite players because she gets no respect.
Crystal Dangerfield.
Yeah.
You got to say it like that.
She gets no respect. But I'll tell you what, this UConn team gets a lot of respect. They are as good as any UConn team, maybe, without Katie Lou Samuelson.
Desiree Stevens gets it done, the transfer from Duke, who had 18 points. That's your halftime report.
On a fast break, if you didn't coach, what would you do?
I'd be an administrator. I'd be selling tickets to Duke.
Favorite vacation spot?
The east coast of Florida.
Hidden talent.
Surfing, paddleboard surfing.
If someone was going to play in your movie, who would it be?
Wow, that's a tough one, Coach. Seth Greenberg.
He is really struggling. He's not scoring in this transition, I can tell you that much. Mike White playing in the half court, not in the fast break.
Good stuff from Coach Greenberg. New Hampshire and Florida tied at 32 here at halftime from Gainesville. Hey, Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on the SEC ESPN Network. Tune in for the latest SEC Featured, presented by Belk. It's the best stories from the past week across this conference, keeping you up to date with everything that's going on. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. We're at halftime. Gators back on the court, getting loose. We'll come back. Have more from Gainesville right after this. Back inside the newly renovated Exact Tech Arena here at the Stephen O'Connell Center in Gainesville, Florida. Tied at 32, a surprising number. The 8th-ranked Gators have averaged 112 points in their first 2 contests, but they have been slowed down tonight. What's been going on with the Gators offensively?
Well, I think, first of all, they're just not making shots, right? 1 3-point shot tonight that they've made. But the good thing is they've gotten to the free throw line 20 times, 15 out of 20, which shows you that they're staying aggressive. On pace to shoot 40 free throws, now that's a high percentage shot. New Hampshire's just done a good job of slowing it down, getting good shots on their offensive end. And if you miss good shots, that's going to slow down a transition team like Florida as well.
We talked about how Florida likes to get in the half-court offense. Tell me a little bit about how that's been going tonight.
Well, I love this right here. As a shooter, Igor is able to get his 3-point shot multiple ways in transition. One way right there is his ability to be the trail man. Defense sucks in, here comes Igor, trail for a 3. The other way for a shooter to get shots in transition is to bust your tail, bust your butt, be the first one down there, beat the defense down the floor, set up in the corner, and you're gonna find yourself an open shot too.
Well, Mike White wearing a microphone. Let's listen into some of his conversations.
I've never even seen you take that shot in practice. You know what I mean? A 10-foot left-handed floater. Shoot your shots. Score it. They can't guard you. Play your game.
You know, there were a couple of shots that you would say would be bad shots, and the way Florida likes to run offense. But for the most part, they got shots that they were knocking down first 2 games. They just haven't dropped today. See if that changes. New Hampshire has come to play, and they've gotten over the jitters, nerves. They know they're in a battle here.
The Rowdies behind us, they're relentless.
They don't stop. That's why they're the Rowdies. Special breed of Gator.
Yeah, that's true. If their parents could see them now, what they're getting into in college. I won't rat on you, don't worry.
Knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to the Wildcats. New Hampshire has put together back-to-back 20-win seasons out of the American East Conference. Of course, Florida coming off that magnificent year, 27-9, 14-4 in conference play, finished second to Kentucky.
Dave, another point right there, that sort of illustrates what New Hampshire's been able to do. If you take good shots and miss them, your defense is still in position to get back in transition.
Right.
There, you take a deep three, just like New Hampshire did. Now, Florida's on the offense. And they're able to keep the defense on their heels.
Chiozza with his first field goal of the evening. Boy, Hayes is just a disruptor underneath the basket. Chiozza.
I love how he just hesitates and surveys the floor.
5 quick ones for Chiozza.
Okay, so back-to-back possessions, New Hampshire, they take a rush deep three. Right there, the guard gets in the lane and it tries to finish over Hayes. Kavarius Hayes over Spidey. What do you think's going to happen? Florida's going to get that and send it down to the other way like they just did.
Timeout on the floor. New Hampshire doesn't want to let this one get away. Chiozza, the leader of this team, came out of the locker room with 5 quick points.
Not against me.
Bill Harrion and his New Hampshire Wildcats down 5. Coach Harrion is always on the move. We talked about earlier today how he just continues to pace all day long. He started the game with a Fitbit on his wrist that had 20,000 steps on it. So we wanted to know how many steps he walked in that first half. How about over 2,000? We checked with him right at halftime. Now, to put it in perspective, you put 500 steps on your Fitbit. Now it's just back and forth to the bathroom.
Twice.
Twice.
Okay, I went to the bathroom twice. So that's, now we know how far it is, but that's absolutely insane.
Right. He's up to 22,000 steps today. And remember, that coaching spot, even though they extended it, it looks about 8 feet or so, that is still a small space to be walking 2,000 steps.
He's wearing that paint right off to the floor there. It's going to be a nice, just faded blue line by the end of the night.
You're up to 7,000 steps today,
7,000, 7 goes 10. Get a little, maybe I'll walk back to the hotel after this.
Or not.
Yeah, there's no chance of that. I'm just going to have to not reach my goal yet again, okay? I'm used to that in my life.
Kulichov. Chiozza back to Kulichov. Shot clock at 15. Plenty of time here for the Gators. Here goes Stone. He's had a quiet night, and that one is short. And the rebound to Leisner.
It's the look they want. I like that. A guy like Stone that is versatile, getting him ahead of steam, attacking the rim.
Jordan Reed out of Lucas, Texas, by way of Rice University, with the shot clock dipping under 10. Won't go. Chiozza comes out of there with it. Chiozza just threw it up off the iron. Another opportunity here, perhaps, for the Gators. Chiozza right to Hayes. Long three, no good. Kulichov now 1 of 4 from behind the arc. He has found a way to produce 12 points tonight, however.
And the Cheese was mixing it up in there. Got his own rebound, I think, a couple times. Yeah, Igor is going to find that, and you can tell, can you sense a little bit more urgency and from the Florida defensive side of things and the offensive side of things. The defense is getting a lot more intense.
Chiozza will take a break for a moment in a 5-point game. Jalen Hudson on the floor with Hayes, Allen, Stone, Kulichov. And a foul against the Gators as Kamara goes strong to the basket.
And that's the right prescription for New Hampshire if you want to slow things down. Get it to the big fella on the block. Allow him to do some work. Not only do you slow things down, you get a foul on Florida, and you get to the free throw line. Highest percentage shot there is, other than a dunk. Or Dave Neal corner jumper.
Never seen the top of a rim.
I imagine what it's like up there. Do you think it's all orange on the top of the rim like we see from underneath? I wonder if it's different color on the top. It's a secret those guys keep to us.
I wore it out that there might not be any orange paint left on one of those rims.
A lot of orange paint chips on the floor underneath that rim.
Kulichaw gets it to Allen. Boy, it has been tough for the Gators. New Hampshire lost the handle that belonged to Florida, but this half we haven't seen as many good looks at the basket. Now they're kind of forcing things, it appears.
That's a good point. That's probably the third or fourth possession where, yeah, they've tried to just outmuscle New Hampshire to the rim. That's not going to work. You see it again here. They've got to get back to hard cuts, hard screens, or just say, you know,
step up and bury it.
Everybody get out of the way. Let me handle this one, coach. That's a pretty shot. A little bit of a corkscrew, but it's a great arc. Nice high release on that jump shot.
Now Reed. He'll get it into Armstrong out of Dallas, Texas.
That's Florida at their best defensively.
Gack will get it to Hayes. Now Allen will run the offense. Kayvon. He just called for number 5 to get it done.
Pull it back. You saw that double screen with Hayes and Gack. Of Kayvon basically has the option of pull up, attack the rim, or if you got help from that weak side, kick it to the corner for Igor.
Leisner will get it in the corner to Stewart. Back to Leisner. Tough up and under move off the basket. And Leisner now has 16 to lead everybody.
I'm not saying I could do a better job, but Leisner, that is multiple times that he has pump faked and they've gone for it.
Both teams are 12 out of 38 from the floor. Florida has only hit 2 3-pointers tonight. They hit 15 in their opening game. Foul on Gack underneath. Kayvon trying to get it going. 5 points tonight. They call his number, and he delivered.
There's no question. Little hesitation. He knows exactly what to do with it. Rise up, great release. Pump fake, get them both. Not only one, he got 2 for 1 right there. Laid it in.
There's a lot to talk about regarding SEC and college football in general, and the place to be to hear the thoughts of 2 guys that follow it very closely. It's Thinking Out Loud, presented by Regions Bank. Greg McElroy, Marcus Spears will talk football. They want your participation as well. Social media live call-ins throughout the show. And they've got some opinions they would love for you to hear. Well, the opinions of that guy right now has to be, we can't get any separation from this New Hampshire club. It's 41-35. Neither team has shot it well.
And New Hampshire has a guy that pretty much has got an answer for anything Florida's thrown at him defensively in Leisner.
Hayes with that rebound. Gators have led by as many as 8. That was about 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. That foul against Stewart. A couple of shots coming up for the Gators. Jalen Hudson. You know, this is one of those things, and even though he didn't say it, you can kind of hear it a little bit from Mike White that wouldn't mind a test for his club. They got get going. They've got some games coming up where they're going to be tested. They have Stanford as their next game, and then the winner of a Gonzaga-Ohio State matchup.
Well, also, how about this? Guys, let's learn how to win games when we're not shooting the leather off the ball. Can we do that? Can we grind games out? Can we win based on our good decision-making and not just because we're getting hot from the three-point line?
Oh, what a block from Hayes. It'll start the break. Here's Ballard the other way. Back to Allen. Kayvon with just 5 points, 2 of 10 from the field. No shot, wave it off, offensive foul. They're going to call it on Gak on a moving screen.
That was that same play we saw earlier with Kayvon Allen. That's the third time I think they've run it with that double screen. The big fella's just going to stand there, can't move.
And you also, your feet can't be outside your shoulder width anymore.
Hey, these guys, ooh, coach, shoot it. Actually, he was a big-time player, I believe, at New Hampshire back just a few years back. But yeah, as a big guy, and I know as a coach, that's got to be the most frustrating thing because it's you don't have to move. Just stand there. Ball handle will get around you.
Gak with the offensive rebound. Look at the big fellow handle it. Gak. Oh, can't convert.
Man, he had about 10 moves in one possession right there.
But you missed the shot down there. What happens? Leisner makes you pay on the other end with a 3.
And he shot it over Gak.
Traveling violation by Allen.
You gotta love your big fellas being the first one up the floor. And Gak putting some work on the offensive end, wasn't rewarded. Forgot to get out to Leisner.
Leisner now with a game-high 19. Leisner, 17 points a game last year, was 5th in the American East Conference. His career high was 36. Leisner working on Gak. Well, they're doubling down now on Leisner. Shot clock at 7. Fall away, no good. Chiozza. Here's the run out. And a foul, and that'll send Ballard to the free throw line. Boy, that was one of the few times lately we've seen Florida get out and really run a true break.
There's no question. There's the cheese running the break where he's most familiar. He could have dropped it to the left, the right. He said, I'm going to get the young fella involved in this. But you're right about that defensive on that end. They kept it on that side. You're right, that ball reversal.
This New Hampshire team has listened to their coach quite well in terms of they have not given up in terms of getting back 2 or 3 guys on the defensive end on missed shots, turnovers. They have been back there to cause some problems for Florida.
It certainly has been on the top of their mind is get back, and I'm sure that was something that Coach Perry, well, we know is what first thing he said to us. We're sending 3 back, maybe 5.
Right, we might shoot from the mid-court stripe and just have everybody back.
Hey, just go 4-on-5 offensively. Keep one back there, Coach. But they've done it, and that's it. You talk about it, so now it's just a natural thing. It's something that these New Hampshire players aren't thinking about. They react to it, immediately get back.
Six-point game. That's off the mark from Ballard.
Coach White told us earlier how he wouldn't be surprised Ballard's able to put up 9-10 quick points in a few-minute span.
Well, he could use you right now.
Yes, there's no question.
Gators by 4. Chase Johnson. That won't go, and then a foul on Stone. And for Stone, that'll be number 4.
Ooh, it's gotta hurt. No, but you know one thing that a lot of people don't realize, and I see it a little bit out of Florida now, when you're running your offense, you have got to work just as hard as you do defensively, and I'm talking about cuts. You gotta cut hard. You can't jog up the floor. You can't jog to set a screen for somebody. You sprint, get solid, set a screen. If you're cutting through the lane, sprint through the lane. That's how the defense gets worn down. That's how the defense now is not sure where you go. Am I helping? Am I rotating? Right. You just can't go through the motions offensively and think that New Hampshire's is going to let off as well.
Armstrong can't get it to go. Hayes the rebound. Allen 5 points, 3 rebounds. Gets it to Hudson. He's fouled on the way to the basket. He'll step to the line. Under 12 media timeout. Florida only up 4. Mike White, it has become a tense affair inside of Zach Tech Arena. Coach knows it. They're in a ball game. Ooh.
A little too close to you wanted it, huh?
Got ourselves a close one here in Gainesville. 8th-ranked Florida and New Hampshire, 44-40 our tally. One interesting number to digest tonight. Florida with just 1 assist, 5 turnovers. Their first 2 games combined, 50 assists, 15 turnovers.
There's a reason why they were scoring as much as they were. And I'm looking at a number 2, another stat, 8 points off turnovers for Florida. And we got so accustomed to seeing last year's team, how they were able to generate so many points off of their defense. It's a little bit different team, obviously, but I do think that they are going to be able to do that, and we'll have to do that to generate offense when they're just not shooting the ball well.
The only assist you just saw is from Hudson tonight. Gators have a 6-point lead. Largest has been 8. That was in the first half. Leisner, wide open. Jordan, got it.
Again, just draws so much attention, and he's a really good passer. Sees the floor, can pass over guys because of his height.
Jordan now with 6, his second 3 of the evening. Chioza. Got some contact and will head to the line. Kamara will pick up that foul.
And to your point about Florida having 1 assist, New Hampshire's done a great job of staying in front of the ball handler to where they don't have to help out as much. They stay on shooters. They stay on the wing. They're not a team that seems like that they're caught out of position. And basically challenging Florida's ball handlers, no matter who it is, say, beat me. If you're going to score, you're going to go around me, and you're going to have to make a tough shot at the basket, or you're going to have to pull up in front of me and make a tough shot with my hand in your face.
Gators now 22 out of 28 at the line. Only 8 free throws attempted by New Hampshire. They're 7 out of 8. Season high free throw attempts for the Gators. Offensive foul. That's going to go against Jacoby Armstrong.
I think he caught him with that elbow trying to post up Igor. And that's what Igor gives you. He gives you a big body guy that can defend in the post, can rebound, and then on the offensive end, it's just a matter of time before he starts making shots.
Chioza. Traveling violation on Hudson. Boy, good defensive effort.
That's it.
From the Wildcats.
And it's not easy to keep Chris Chioza in front of you. And he just did it right there. No help.
Count it. That three drops, and now the Wildcats are only down 2 after Jordan buries another one.
And again, late rotation, getting out to three-point shooter, double on the post, just kick it out.
Gators now 2 of their last 13. Off the backboard. Again, Oguche. Hudson throws it down. The Gators' first dunk of the night.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
Leitner lost the handle. Florida on the run. Kulachuk.
Now that's the one, though, where I talked about beating the defense down the floor. He was able to do that as opposed to trailing that time. Get out in front of the break.
Shot clock under 10. Leitner, defended by Hayes. Throws it up. No foul. Hudson again to the basket. He'll head to the free throw line.
Boy, it's amazing what a dunk can do to ignite your defense, isn't it? A dunk, a three, does that a lot of times. You know, then players start to get engaged, excited, the crowd gets into it. A couple of poor decisions by New Hampshire. I would have loved to see Hudson in that play. Kayvon Allen has the ball, it looks up the floor, great pass up the floor to Hudson. Instead of Hudson taking that dribble to the middle, I'd love to see him give it right back to Kayvon Allen, who was running up the middle of the floor. He could have caught it, 1-2 dribble, would have went straight to the basket.
Three-point lead for Florida. Hudson, by the way, now in double figures. He's got 13, 5 rebounds, and the Gators' lone assist. And a foul on Hudson. Oguche.
He didn't need to be worried about Oguche in the corner because he can't have access to the backboard.
Can't bank it in.
Can't no backboard.
And if he does, I'm not playing him and horse.
That's exactly right. It's over. Can't do anything about that side backboard shot.
Jordan. Inside to Kamara, up and under, and he got popped right across the nose. Kulachuk. It's a 5-on-4.
He sure did. It was a great move again. Great use of the pump fake and step through.
So Kamara's down on one end, and on the other end, the Gators make him pay with a Hudson three. There is Iba Kamara, who just made a nice move down low, got the basket, but got swatted right across the eye and was bleeding, and they're working on him right now. And officials went to the monitor to take a look and felt like it was just a basketball play. Nothing flagrant. But he laid down on that baseline. Florida took advantage, went back the other way, got a three from Hudson.
5-on-4. Igor to the paint. Everyone sucked in, throw it out to Hudson. But yeah, it looked like Kayvon reaching in, clipped him maybe with a fingernail, and that's part of it, man. It's a pretty disgusting injury to think about someone's fingernails after a sweaty game. But coming off screens when I was playing, I would have red streaks of fingernails. I mean, it just looked like you're getting a fight with a bear or something like that.
Well, you mentioned it today that, you know, Mike White, you have to change jerseys at halftime. Yours was ripped up so much every time you played in, right?
Had a lot of Mike White DNA on my back and shoulders.
Boy, Hayes with another big block. Starts the break for Florida. Hudson is fouled. He hits the deck. And that foul will be against Leisner. That'll be the second on Leisner, or excuse me, third on Leisner, and Hudson back to the free throw line. Florida needed somebody to give him a little bit of spark. Hudson's been that guy here in the second half.
Isn't it nice to have those kind of options? Isn't it nice for Mike White to look at his bench and decide, okay, well, we've got Igor's not making many shots for us tonight, but that's okay. We can have Hudson come in and step right into that role. And some nights it's going to be Kayvon's night. But it is wonderful to have a guy that is versatile, big guard like that. We talked about it before, can rebound, can pass. Has half of the team's assists tonight.
He has one. He also had 17 points to lead Florida. There is a foul against the Gators. That'll go against Chiozza.
Wily veteran move there by Leisner.
Chiozza now with 4 fouls.
Leisner baited him into that one for sure. Chiozza is a competitor now, but I'm not so sure he could knock over Leisner like that.
Leisner having a heck of a game on the road. He's up to 20. 4 rebounds. Hey, Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on the SEC ESPN Network. Fort Wayne heads into Lexington, taking on the 7th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats. It'll be Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. You can catch it also streaming live on the ESPN app. Hayes to Kulichov. Couldn't get the kind roll here in Exact Tech Arena.
Much better offensive action in that possession. Not as much dribbling, one-on-one dribbling for Florida's offense there. You saw back cuts and guys moving.
Armstrong knocks down the 15-foot baseline jumper. It's a 2-point game. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Hayes up and under and drew some contact on Armstrong. And that'll be number 4 on Jacoby.
Florida started the game going to Hayes in the post. Nice little baby hook move to start the game off. And again there, getting to the big fella. Got to keep feeding those big guys. You want to do all the dirty work, you got to do some of the glory sometimes.
Hayes out of Live Oak, Florida, Swanee High School. Wearing number 13 to emulate former Gator greats Joakim Noah and Mike Miller.
Mike Miller, the great South Dakotan.
Loose ball. New Hampshire keeps it alive. Shot clock down to 10. Leisner. Kulichov. Igor has 12. Allen has been held to 5 tonight. Hudson can't get it to go. Kulichov. Oh, double tip and lay in.
That looked like the drill, the tip drill. Third offensive rebound by Igor. Just got nose for the ball.
That makes it a 5-point game. Florida takes a 30-second timeout.
You can clearly see New Hampshire's strategy defensively on that high screen and roll is go under. Go under. You saw it. They did it against Kayvon Allen when he pulled up for a three. Hudson multiple times pulling up for a three. Chioza when he comes off that high ball screen. Go under the screen. Live. You talk about pick your poison. We talked about it earlier in the show. That's what they're going to live and die with.
Time for our all-state good hands play, and let's go to that last play because it certainly was some good hands by the Russian.
Great concentration, athletic ability. Got about 3 little bunny hop jumps in there. Focused on the ball, still able to go up and finish. And I think if he brought that down, he probably wasn't going to get an open layup like that. Great job of staying active on his feet. Almost really threw himself and tapped himself an alley-oop.
14 points, 8 rebounds for Igor Kulichov from Russia, but moved to the States when he was 16 years old down in the Miami area. Started his collegiate career at Arizona State. Transferred to Rice, where he was a star for the Owls in Conference USA, a first-team all-conference performer last year, averaging 18 points a game. Really mature young man, according to his coach, Mike White. Been on his own since he came to the States. Has learned a lot about basketball, and about life.
What yes, he has. He's been coast to coast, literally, and around the world. But what I'm most impressed about is 14 points, only 1 3. He's gotten to the free throw line. He's gotten just garbage buckets, so he can do it any way you need him to.
Jordan, catch, shoot, got it. 2-point game, Gators with 4:57 on the clock.
I tell you, outside of Leisner, that kid would be my MVP.
Kulichov off the back of the iron. Florida 3 of 16 from behind the arc. They came into this game, the first 2 contests, hitting 26 of 54. That's 48%. Leisner. He's put it up 22 times today. Kulichov. Back to Hudson. That won't drop. In a tangle, they're going to say a tie-up, and the arrow favors Florida.
Okay, big fella. Hustle play, get on the floor. Hayes has done a great job the last couple of possessions on Leisner. His length bothered him, and that deep 3 Leisner had to shoot over Hayes' length, and then right there had to get off a quick, almost a 180 jump, right-handed jump hook.
Fresh shot clock for the Gators.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see a statistic on how many one-pass baskets are made on the out-of-bounds, underneath the basket, out-of-bounds. They can't be many. They're few and far between.
And there's one of them right there.
How about that?
One pass and a 3. Or excuse me, they scored a 2.
Man, how
about a 4-point lead.
Great play, Coach White.
Leisner. Armstrong will try a 3. That's too strong, and Hudson the rebound. Hudson up to 20 points. Step back. Just keep feeding him.
He likes that spot right there, Dave Neal.
He's
That's your
hungry.
spot.
That's it.
That's your spot. You heated up for him before the game. I love his arch on his shot. The release point, the arc.
Could this be the turning point of this game? Shot clock in single digits. Kamara spins. Kicks it out to Reed. And New Hampshire just won't go away.
That kid is playing lights out. And he's got to guard Kayvon Allen, Chris Chioza on that, and now he's on Hudson.
Hayes sets the screen. Hudson, that won't drop. Well, the Gators had to go to the bench to find some offense, and they found it in one Jalen Hudson. Timeout on the floor.
The ability in out of bounds play, great catch, balance, great release point, great execution, and then the step back from the same exact spot. I think he likes it down at the end of the floor.
A good defensive team reels together 3 or 4 steps right here. And if they score one time, it doesn't faze us, because the next 4 we're going to get stops.
Well, they'll need some stops. Gators up by 3, 2:49 to go in this one. Has not been a great shooting night for Florida. And a team that had gone over the century mark in their first 2 games, having to win this on the defensive end. Mike White and company will head off to Portland for 3 games in 4 days as part of the PK80 tournament. Phil Knight turns 80. Of course, the creator, founder of Nike. Celebration of him.
How great is that tournament? That's, you can't, I'm gonna be glued to the TV.
Hudson knocks home the first free throw. There are some outstanding teams in there, and you see the games that you can watch on ESPN2 Thursday night against Stanford. And then Florida will have a chance to either face Gonzaga or Ohio State in their second game out there the next day. Armstrong. He has it rejected. Kulichov. That won't drop for Igor, who's now 4 of 14 from the field. Chioza playing with 4 fouls. Check back in after that timeout. 15 on the shot clock.
And as Igor's coming out now, he drew a tough defensive assignment because Armstrong is about as strong of a guard as you're going to have to guard.
Leisner off the backboard, 3-point game. Under 2 minutes to play.
He's also, Leisner's doing a great job of neutralizing the shot clock in Florida by getting his body in there and just giving a little bit of bump so they can't have that extension to block shots.
Hudson. Right down the lane. Lays it up and in.
I was going to say, Hudson has a mismatch with Armstrong out on the floor like that, coming off of a screen, making him cover you laterally, side to side. It's just, it's a pretty impossible task.
Hudson with 26 points in 28 minutes. Kamara. Can't get it to go. Need to go check the clock here, I believe. They're going to check. They're going to check possession here.
It's good to see Florida had 3 guys, I believe, in the paint, battling. Looked like Armstrong knocked that out.
Well, it gives each team an opportunity to set some things up in a 5-point contest. 1:15 to play. A couple of timeouts remain for both clubs. 32% from the floor for Florida, 37 for New Hampshire. Gators have shot just 16% from behind the arc, 3 of 18, but they have been very successful at the line, 29 of 36.
Got 12 second chance points, so what they've given up and not being able to knock any down from the 3-point line, they've gone to the free throw line. They've gotten second chance opportunities, offensive rebounds. They got to the lane a lot. And New Hampshire has done a good job of not having to overextend their defense and have one guy play defense on that ball handler. And the few times that Florida was able to find creases, they've been taking full advantage of it.
So it will be Florida basketball.
The call on the floor stands. Not enough to overturn.
Indisputable video evidence. I've said those words a lot.
I was going to say that shouldn't roll off the tongue, but it does for you.
Indisputable video evidence.
There's no other place in your life
No, that would use that.
you would use it.
Unless with my kids.
Yes. Hidden cam, I know you broke that plate.
That's it. So we go under a minute. 2-possession game. Chioza off the Stone. 2 on the shot clock. Foul. Free throws coming up. Foul on Leisner. That'll be number 4 on him.
Leisner's going to wish he had that defensive possession back. Stone did a good job of giving as many pump fakes as he had to. He knew he was sort of in jail in no man's land on the court, and his only option was trying to draw this foul or that fadeaway over a long Leisner.
Gators have been really good at the free throw line. Excellent at the line. 81% tonight. Reed. Armstrong, too strong. Batted around, another opportunity for the Wildcats. Now it's Reed in and out. And Hudson with that rebound, number 7 for him to go along with his 26 points. And that should do it. New Hampshire came in here ready to play, and they gave the Gators all they wanted. But in the end, it was Jalen Hudson off the bench. Somebody had to step up, and he found him at number 3.
Quite the luxury to have that coming in and giving you an offensive explosion like that to put him over the top.
So Bill Harrion and Mike White talking this one over. 70-63, the final score. Gators did not shoot it very well tonight. And some nights, hey, you're going to have to play a little defense, and that's what the case was this evening at Exact Tech Arena. What do you make of this game as Florida moves down the road and competition elevates?
Well, they got some depth now at that guard position. We talked about how it is loaded back there, but they learned that they can win without having to depend on the three-point shot. And they're better three-point shooters. They can get to the free throw line, stay on the attack. I thought they did a really good job, though, of staying within themselves. And a lot of challenge. That New Hampshire team is very, very good, man. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Florida was able to get through it.
Florida got to the free throw line. They knocked down 31 free throws tonight. The three-point shot wasn't there. So that tells me that they're getting to the basket. But you got to have depth on your team if you want to win some games like this, and we saw that tonight.
What Coach White is asking out of these guys, defensively and offensively, getting up and down the floor like this constantly, you're going to have a very deep bench and deep team. And just because you come off the bench doesn't mean that you're a bench or role player. I mean, you got to be able to be just as put up the numbers just as much as the starter does.
Well, good thing that they have number 3 on their team right now. Jalen Hudson with a great night as he finishes up with 26 big ones. And the Gators sneak out of here with a win as they beat New Hampshire 70-63. College basketball continues next with number 10, Southern Cal and Vanderbilt. Let's get you out to Memorial Gym in Nashville right now.